So today we are going to talk about credits and what is a credit, what does a credit mean, and why is a credit important. We're going to talk about what you need and how many credits you need to graduate here at Achievement House. And then we're going to talk about how to set up a plan to graduate on time and to meet your career goals. So, how do you graduate? And at first, that might seem like a really obvious answer. Well, you go to school for 4 years in high school and you graduate, but it's not that simple because there's certain things that you need to do. You could theoretically go to school for 4 years in high school, but not graduate. There's things that you need to do. There's classes that you need to pass. There's credits, and there's that word, credits that you need to earn each year in order to graduate. And Pennsylvania has some very specific rules or regulations, things that you need to do in order to graduate. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about what you need to do in order to graduate so you know what you need to do and that you can get set up to do what you need to do. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is a credit. And then we're going to talk about how many credits you need to earn in order to graduate. So let's start with the basic vocabulary. What is a credit? And a credit is a way of measuring how much time a student has spent in a course. So the general rule is a full year course is 1 credit, which is 1 hour a day. So in other words, your core classes, your English, your math, your science, your history, your social studies, they are all year long and you have them 1 time a day, and you should be spending between going to class and doing your homework an hour a day, and they are worth 1 credit. Now, when you're in middle school, back when you're in middle school, they don't actually count for credit. We don't start counting credit until you get to high school. When you get to 9th grade, that is when we start counting credit. So you have 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and that is when credit starts counting. And that is when you add them up, and that is when you're going to start accumulating those credits, and you need to accumulate those in order to graduate. In order to graduate, you need 21 credits. It's not just 21 credits, it's 21 specific credits. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But you need 21 credits. So, and that's at Achievement House. So Pennsylvania says that you need 21 credits. Now, different school districts can have different rules. So if you are thinking about going back to a different school district, the first thing I suggest doing is calling them and asking, because some of the school districts may say that you need 28 credits or 27 credits. They may have different rules, but Pennsylvania says that you need 21 credits to graduate, and that is the rule that Achievement House follows. So this lesson is going to be based on what Achievement House, like our rules. So let's go over what you need to graduate at Achievement House. So the first thing I should say is it's not enough to just take the class. You have to pass it. So you would need, at the very minimum, a D. If you fail the course, you don't get the credit. You need a D or above. Now, obviously, you want better because something called your GPA, which we'll go over in another lesson, that also matters. But you need to at least pass the class in order to get the credit. So you need to have at least 4 English classes. So Pennsylvania says that you need to pass 4 English classes in high school in order to graduate. One of those classes has to be in literature, and you have to have one each year. So there's, like I said, there's not just 21 credits, but there's some specific rules that you also have to follow. Now, you guys don't have to worry about that because you have wonderful counselors, and we make sure that you have the right classes that you need. Your job is to make sure that you pass all the classes that we schedule you for. So as long as you pass everything, there's nothing to worry about. If you don't pass or if you're not passing everything, that is when you need to make sure that you talk with your guidance counselor so that we can help you get caught up. So first thing to keep in mind is every year you have to pass an English class. If you don't pass an English class, then we're going to be looking at summer school. We're going to be looking at some way to get you caught up because you need to have 4 English classes, 4 credits in English in order to graduate. The next thing is you need to have at least 3 math credits. Now, if you are thinking about going to college, take 4. Pennsylvania says that you need to have at least 3, so that's 3 years of math, but please, if you're thinking about going to college, take math every year. It's a good idea to take 4. One of those classes has to be algebra. So 3 math credits, 1 needs to be algebra. For social studies, again, at minimum, you need to take 3 different classes, and one of them has to be a civics or U.S. government. Now, you can take 4, but you need to take at least 3, and one has to be a civics or U.S. government. Now, as you guys know, your health and PE class, that's not a full credit. Those are usually smaller classes. Those are elective classes. So you only need 1 credit, but you have to have a health or wellness class in there somewhere, and you have to have a PE course every year. So usually your PE class is a shorter class, and usually 1 marking period, sometimes a semester, but you need to have it every year. And it needs to add up to at least a credit. Now, it could be more, but it needs to be at least a credit. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about electives. So you need to have at least 2 electives of arts and humanities, and they can be taken anytime throughout high school. If you're not sure what arts and humanities are, well, there is a program of studies, and that is always posted in your school counselor's office room. So you can always go in there and take a look at the program of studies, and it would have all the different electives, and you can take a look there. The other thing is when you are scheduling classes, your counselor is going to help guide you and say to you, well, you need to have this many electives or this many. So you don't really need to worry about this as long as you're following the directions and taking the number of classes that are suggested to you. There's a graduation project. And of course, don't need to worry about this yet, but that is down the road. But just to give you a little bit of an idea, you can do some volunteer work, you can job shadow, there is a creative option that you can do. So there's a lot of really neat things that you can do, and they are really surrounding things to support your future career. So the whole purpose of your graduation project is to get you better prepared for your future. So that is also in there as one of the things that you're going to be doing before you graduate, but you won't be doing that until your junior or senior year. So let's apply this. So here we have Greg, and he is a 9th grader. Let's pretend that he passes English, math, and history, but he is failing his science and his electives. So my first question is, how many credits is he going to earn this year? So what do you think? If you answered 3, you are correct, because remember we have English, we have math, because these are core classes, and we have history. So right there are 3. So we have 3 credits. So what should he do? Is he going to graduate on time if he gets 3 credits his first year? Well, he needs to get to 21 credits. So how many credits does he need each year? Well, he needs to get, I would say, somewhere between 5 and 6 credits each year. Somewhere between 5 and 6. Let me see if I can write that. There you go. Because if he gets 5 credits each year for 4 years. So 5, that would be 20. So between 5 and 6 credits. And this year he only got 3. So he is way under the number of credits that he needs, because if he only gets 3 credits each year in 4 years, he's only going to have 12 credits. So he's only going to be about halfway through. So he needs to get more credits. So what should he do? Well, probably should go to summer school. Definitely should talk to his guidance counselor. Definitely should make a plan. So anytime that you don't pass a class or that you drop a class, anytime that's just getting a little bit further behind, and that class needs to be made up. Now, he does not need to make up this English. This English credit that he passed that. He doesn't need to make up that class. He does not need to make up this math class. He does not need to make up this history. Those credits are banked. He earned them. They are good. But he still, he's only earned these 3 credits, and he is still now 18 credits away from graduating still. So the whole goal is to get to this 21 and to meet all those requirements. Now, again, you don't need to worry about all the nitty-gritty with the requirements, because that is what your guidance counselor is here to do. We are here to worry about that for you. Your job is to pass the classes that you have. If you pass all of them every time, then we are good to go. So let's summarize what we've learned in this lesson. We talked about how it is important to pass the classes, once you start high school, each class counts. Year-long classes count as 1 credit. If it's a half year, it counts as a half year. If it's a half credit, if it's just a marking period, it counts as 0.25 or quarter credit. We talked about how Pennsylvania has specific regulations, how if you go to a different school, there might be different regulations, but right now here at Achievement House, you require 21 credits to graduate. The elective classes that you take can help you prepare for the career that you want to pursue, and your graduation project can help you prepare for the career that you want to take. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. And thank you for watching this lesson.